This is Bonaparte, my alter ego and teacher, who over the last 20 years has been teaching me the secrets of bones. I have a practice in Seattle working on people with bad injuries and trauma in their bones. And rather than tell you about what I've learned, I'm going to have Bonaparte speak for both of us. So here's Bonaparte. Well, thank you very much for having me in your homes. I want to tell you a story to begin with. About 20 years ago, we had a gal that came in that had a really bad injury in her leg. She was having trouble walking on her knee, and it turned out that 20 years before that, she'd actually been hit by a car in that same leg up in the thigh. Well, we started to work on it, and I told the BoneWhisperer, I said, just push on that thing. I gave him an intuition. Just push on that thing. So he did. He pushed it in the direction of the injury, and you know what happened? It went crack, crack. You could hear it all the way upstairs. Well, that girl got up and she walked around a little bit, and then she felt so good she ran up and down the stairs. So listen, I want you to take your fleshy brains and I want you to think about that a little bit. How could that happen? 20 years that thing had been bent in there, and then it straightened out and went right back into its old position, in its old shape. And you know, I've got shapes. You don't think that with me, but if you look at me on a video, you'll see like my thigh bone, it goes a little bit in toward the middle, and then the bone below that goes a little more in toward that. And when those bones get out like that, if they get out and get spasmed like it did with that gal, there's problems. Because I'm the foundation of everything. I mean, everything comes off of me. So when that stuff gets off like that, then there's problems because the bones and muscles, the muscles and ligaments have to do the work I'm supposed to do as bones. And there's pain, and you don't want that with me. Because I got some things to tell you that are going to help you from feeling that sort of pain, and for your future self from having to feel that kind of pain. So here goes. So first of all, you think I'm brittle. I'm not brittle at all. I'm actually very pliable and move around. I mean, how could you run a marathon? I mean, 27 miles. I'd break after the first mile. So I bounce around and I move. And you think that I'm the Grim Reaper, but I'm not. I'm not the Grim Reaper. I'm more to do with life. I bring oxygen to your system through those red blood cells that I make. I let you run, I let you jump. And when I bounce around, I make you way more healthy. You know, that's why exercise is so important, because it gets me bouncing around and I give you vitality. All right, so now there's some other stuff. Now, first of all, you think that I'm hard to injure. You think I'm brittle because you think I'm tough and brittle. You think I'm hard to injure, but I'm not. We had a gal in the other day. All she was doing was screwing on some doors with some screws. She was 65 or 66. Not in the greatest shape. I told her she had to get in shape. She was screwing in these doors and she hurt her shoulder. Well, she'd just come from a massage, you know, and so she was feeling a little better, but that shoulder still hurt. But you know, just using that screwdriver like that and twisting it, it bent her shoulder. That's how easy I can bend. I've had people that have injured themselves so badly they had a bad back from bumping their legs running around the couch. So, first of all, you think I'm brittle. Second, you think I'm hard to injure, but I'm not. So what happens when these injuries happen like this? Well, I get spasmed. I get spasmed. And when I get spasmed, I cause trouble because I'm not in the right shape anymore. So what I taught this guy back here, it took a little while because he's not that smart talking to a skeleton. I don't know, though. He listened to me for 20 years, so he must be pretty smart. So I taught him to use these knobbies and vibration and move in the direction of the injury. And we actually take those spasms out of there. Now the chiros, they think that the bones are always out of place. But they're not always out of place. They're mostly bent. And when you get that bent and spasm out of there, then they start going back into the right position and they can do their jobs again. Then those articulation, those joints and stuff, they're not that hard to get out of there. You can do it pretty easy. Sometimes it's just stretching. So this is great for chiropractors too. I mean, they take a little of the bend out of there and their work's going to be way easier. All that stuff's great. Cranial sacral, all that stuff. But man, when I get bent, cranial sacral is a little too soft for me. You got to get the bend out and then you can do that energy stuff and it's fabulous. It works great. But what I taught the BoneWhisperer to do was to use power and not force. Because when you force me, then I come back at you. Oh, you know, force always has a counter force inside me. So what I want to tell you is when you use power and you kind of come around me with the vibration and with the movement, then I let go easy and I don't fight you. And that's the way that it's got to be. Because when I fight you, then I bend against you. And man, I tell you, I'm tough. I'm not going to let you tear up my arteries and my fluids inside me, because that's my major job. That's the prime directive. So the other thing is, I want you to know that this is a place between hard and soft. Everybody knows deep down inside their bones that we don't want to be pushing on those bones too hard, but yet we don't want to be too soft. So this is the place in between, and you know that's what you need. But the Bone Whisperer is a little bit overworked, and he needs to train a few people to do this. So that's what I'm on the video here for. I want you to come and learn some of this stuff, and I'm going to whisper through the Bone Whisperer and tell you that stuff. And I'll tell you, your future self would be very grateful, and many, many people's future selves, because this is the bodywork of the future, and it's going to take you a long ways. And it'll give meaning and give hope to a lot of people, a lot of pain. Okay, well, I just want to thank you again for having me into your homes. Thank you very much.